Hi, welcome to War HQ. My name is Lucious. What we're going to go through today is to look at this little gem. Now, this is one of the original Banshee Exarchs for the Asuryani, or what I've always known as the Eldar, and most of you has, and particularly when this one came out. This is going to be. I've been waiting on this one a while. I recently did a battle report. I was waiting on this model, but didn't get it in time to paint it, obviously. But what I thought I'd do is go through this model, have a little bit look at it, a little bit about it, and then just go through some of the startings of my Asuryani team, which really at the moment has just been a hodgepodge of anything I can find cheap on auction. Most of it is a mix of old and new models. If you have a look at this Banshee in particular, down here, 1988. So I remember when this one came out. I was younger guy then, but look at this, totally unopened. It's almost heresy for me to even open this, but you'll see with some of the models I have in my Asuryani force that I have gone with a bit of a mix of these older models from the 80s and the 90s as well, and there's not a lot of options. I know they've just re-released all these Howling Banshees and they're beautiful sculpts in that, but at the moment I'm just sort of piecemealing this Asuryani force together. So I won't open this now because I just wanted to show what we've got and then just go through a little bit of the list of what I'm sort of using with this force. The sculpt itself in this one is what you expect. It's the old metal-based figures. Games Workshop provided two here, which is interesting. For all of you Kill Team players out there, you know that you only need one. I suppose one could be converted, but not really. The pose is pretty mono how it is. You'd have to get a bit creative to be able to do much with it, but the model itself is quite nice. These Eldar models have always stood up pretty well to the test of time. So I don't know what I'll do with the second one. I might, if one of my friends wants to start a Eldar force, or I could just put it back on auction and sell it as well. So not sure at the moment. But that's as it is now. So yeah, I mean, you buy these character models now, you only get them, one per set kind of thing generally, unless they come in a box set, this sort of Exarch model. But yeah, just a little blast from the past. I thought I'd share that. But let's have a little look at the force I've assembled here. This is all I've managed to achieve, which is, plenty of points in itself. And with this Banshee is going to be quite a formidable force. I've already used most of what's here in a battle report. Did quite well. So yeah, you can see here. I love these old Wraithguard, Wraithblade models. I've got them painted in the Ironton craft world. I just like the colours. I like the yellow and the blue. I think that was my main focus with it. Now they do get, they'd roll a D3 instead of a D6 for nerve checks, which is actually pretty strong. Although when I used them in the battle report I took them as the Shuriken one, so the BL10, which I think is a really strong, a strong option for the Asuryani, because you can add one to leadership characteristic of Aspect Warriors. As you can see here, I've got a few that, Dire Avengers, Striking Scorpions, Howling Banshees. So the Aspect Warriors get +1 leadership, and in addition you can re-roll 1 for Shuriken weapons used by any model in your kill team. So I pretty much had packed the whole thing out with Shuriken cannons, including the Shuriken cannon, which was pretty cool, and it worked quite well. I got a lot of re-rolls and a lot of hits and kills because of that. So the BL10 I do rate, it's quite good. But these are painted in Ironton just for personal preference, really. It's the one I've always liked the look of. But yeah, you can have a look here. Some of these Wraithguard, Wraithblades are quite nice. Just a mixture of layering I've really used on those. Some of you can see the Citadel crack paint. I think that's Martian Iron Earth, I think that one's called. Yeah, I mean, fairly basic, but just neat. This is the other model, which is one of the originals. So this is the Dire Avenger, Exarch. And he, as you can see here, yeah, it's one of these original models. I think this one's from the 90s. He came in a packaged blister like this back in the day. They still come up okay. One thing I did notice when painting these is that the metal models, so you forget how easily they chip and you can damage them. That was one thing I encountered when painting these with this Dire Avenger, but also this is quite a gem of a model too, one of the originals, and this is the Striking Scorpion Exarch, and I got him in a similar blister as well, so sorry for rating everyone's hopes and dreams on eBay, but that's what I do a lot of the time on auctions. This is quite a cool model. I like it. It's got the Scorpion Claw, so those of you know that's this very powerful weapon. Can shoot up here, and it's got like two shuriken catapult kind of things, and then the claw itself is pretty brutal. But yeah, this is a really cool old model too. It took the layering quite well. Probably don't know how well you can see it through this camera, but it looks pretty good. I did try a contrast on a couple of these, and you really do need to get that Wraithbone contrast primer, I found, to get good contrast on these metal models, but they're never as good as the new plastics. They really don't take contrast as well. Recently I did some with a black contrast. I think it was from my Drakari team, some of the Incubi, the old metal sculpts as well, and it was pretty useless. I've got another Striking Scorpion there, as you can see. He's just a standard one, pretty cool. Over here I've got just an old weapons platform that I managed to pick up. These were pre-painted and old, so I just picked them up from someone's old collection. So I didn't actually strip the paint off them. I just re-primed them and went again. So they're not the best in the world, but then they do the job. They're just Guardians really, and I think they look kind of good enough. Just for tabletop. I mean, these ones are a bit flasher, but Guardians are Guardians, dime a dozen. So you can sort of see them there. I'll probably put a few more little highlights and features on them. The cannon itself is quite nice. I've only got one option with this gun at the moment, but I just sort of proxy it for whatever one I want to use really. As I said in that last game, I was using it as a shuriken cannon, just so all models in the team had shuriken guns, and really benefited from that. But this is my new Banshee, and I thought I'd just share that with you today. Go through just some basics of what I'm doing here with my Eldar team. It's really, as I said, I've just collected this over things I've managed to find, secondhand stuff, old stuff that has never been opened. I'm still a little bit hesitant to open it because it's in its original boxing. It's never been used. I mean, it's like, what is that? 31 years of sitting around in its packaging. Seems a little bit of blasphemy, but anyway, I will do it because I did it with these two. Picked up some old stuff there and some old things I had left over. So, with the Eldar army or the Asuryani army, you don't really have a lot of option at the moment. If you want to get this eclectic mix of, because I mean, the strongest builds at the moment with Asuryani are all these aspect warriors with their Exarchs. They've all got 2 wounds, and they've all got very strong, unique abilities as well. Backed up with some, you can either go the Dire Avenger sort of route, or you can go the Guardian route, which I've gone here as well with the gun, which I think is very essential too. So, that's just a little bit of a breakdown there. I hope you've enjoyed that, and thanks for your time. And for now, this is War HQ, and we're signing out.